Hello out there in YouTube land. Mark Allen Gunnels here. I am coming back again with my series of exploring the poetry I wrote in junior high and high school. Um, it gives a glimpse into the writer I was going to become, the person I was going to become. Those are very formative years, and you know, some beliefs get toned down, some beliefs change. Um, but I feel like we are becoming who we are going to be at that age. And so that's part of why I wanted to look at these. And also just to remind myself what I was going through, what I was thinking, um, and, how that sort of determined the trajectory of my life. Today I'm going to read some fun poems that are what I deem parents just don't understand poems. I feel like all teenagers go through that period where they just feel like, adults don't get us, they're dismissing us, they're ignoring our pain. And some of that is very um, over the top because as teenagers, we don't really yet know what all life um, has in store for us. We don't know all the stressors on being an adult, and we don't always appreciate the stressors that are on our parents. Um, and yet, there is also some truth in these poems, and that I think when we get older, sometimes we kind of forget all the stuff we went through as young people. And sometimes the pain is very real. Sometimes it's just blown out of proportion because of emotion and hormones, but, you know, some young people are going through some real crises. It can be family, it can be bullying, it can be coming to terms with their sexuality, it can be abuse, it can be all manner of things. So I don't think we should be so quick to dismiss, the young people and their pain. Although some of this poetry is maybe a little bit too far. But it's still fun to read. The first one I'm going to read is called Parents. And it's an indictment of those parents who just don't want to listen to their children. And, I don't even feel like, by this point, my father was out of the picture. And, my mother didn't really have a firm understanding of everything going on with me. But that's also because I wasn't forthcoming with some stuff. Because at that point, I don't think she would have been ready to hear some stuff. But this isn't even really what I was feeling in my home, but just generally, I guess. And, based on a lot of the teen movies I was watching at the time. But this one is called Parents. Our parents blame us when things go wrong. They say it's all our fault. But even though they say and believe that, we know it's really not. Our parents screwed up this world long before we were here. And now they pass the mess to us and along pass all their fear. Our parents teach us rules they never intend to keep. Why do they bother preaching if they won't practice what they preach? Our parents say respect them, but they give us no respect. They act their very worst and tell us to act our best. They say we are the future, but won't let us grow up. So we, the young people, must take over and fix our parents' screw-ups. So take that, parents. The second one I'm going to read is called A Teenage Trauma. Being a teenager is rather tough. You're growing older, but still so young. You have so many feelings and opinions, yet you're told to hold your tongue. You face important decisions about your life, decisions adults won't let you make. You see chances to make your dreams come true, chances adults won't let you take. Adults look at a teenage life and say, how simple it must be. But they don't see the complex design in the lifestyle of a teen. There are victories and failures, falling tears and great drama. Growing up, yet still a kid, this is a teenage trauma. And when I was a teenager, I probably was a little old beyond my years because I did have some issues that I was dealing with. you know, being gay at that time period in a small conservative town. Um, there were some family issues with my father. I was definitely bullied a lot in school. So, there were some things that I look back and probably cause some genuine trauma. And so I was just trying to work it out through these poems. Let's see. This one is just called Parents. This is a message to you parents. Teenagers have it rough. Take it from me. I've been there. And I'm sure you have too. I know compared to your adult problems, a teenage life can seem pretty simple and ideal. But this is all we know, and it can get pretty rough for us sometimes. So instead of scolding your kids, be patient and understanding with them. Be encouraging and try to help them. Don't just look at their lives compared to your own. Try to tolerate their feelings. We're not really all that bad. All teenage life is difficult these days. A teenage life is difficult these days. It's a miracle just to survive. Okay, so one more. The last one I'm going to read is called Voices to be Heard. For what seems like forever, kids have been misunderstood. Parents won't let us grow up or outgrow our childhood. But we must stand firm in our beliefs and fight for what we deserve. Parents must let us live our lives. That's the only way we'll ever learn. Why do we even try to talk to our parents? They never want to hear the truth. They don't understand that we're misunderstood. They don't understand electric youth. But now's our time to be grown up and take a special stand. And maybe, just maybe, one of these days, our parents will understand. And just a little bit, that Electric Youth, I stole that from the Debbie Gibson song and album of the same title. But yeah, just a little bit of melodramatic poetry from my teenage years about being a teenager and how, parents just don't get it. And I know every generation thinks that. And I think to some degree, every generation is right. We kind of grow up and we forget what it was like and what we went through and how we felt, which is why I like looking back at this stuff to remind myself and to remind you, the fives of tens of people who are watching these videos. So thank you, and I will see you next time.